Meeting. Tonight, first off, we'll start with presentations. We have a presentation tonight, and these are presentations that were voted on in the last legislative session, last meeting. Resolution P 51018, resolution adjourning the November 13th legislative meeting in memory of Peter M. Stenson, representative by the Stenson family, and presented by Legislator Grant. Would you please come up here?
I would. The smaller cousin.
Just thinking about Pete Stenson, looking at what he would be saying if he was here. One of my favorite Pete Stenson lines, you would have somebody presenting something at great length at a town board meeting or a planning board meeting, and you'd ask Pete, what did you think of that presentation? And he'd say, I've seen a lot of people, and he's one of them. Civility, respect, and responsible citizenship is the really essential ingredients for a vital community, and Pete exemplified all of those ingredients, and he really did a great job for the community of East Greenbush and Rensselaer County as well. I spent an awful lot of time, and I hate to make this personal, but this is a real personal thing for me because I really spent a lot of time with Pete over the years in various meetings, various settings. And even more time with Pete after the meetings in the parking lot or at the Dunkin' Donuts or Stewart's, kind of analyzing what happened at the meetings, critiquing the various speakers. Pete and I had a kind of an agreement for a number of election cycles now where we'd have a cup of coffee and a lot of discussion at various local diners or restaurants and kind of analyzing how the election went. Pete would pay one year, I'd pay the other year. The way it worked out is that Pete paid in the odd-numbered election years and I paid in the even-number election years, so I owe him one. And I'm hopeful that at some point Pete and I will meet together and he'll collect on that cup of coffee. I miss Pete Stenson. I'll continue to miss him. But I always remember the time that we shared, the discussions we had, the laughs we had. He was just really a consummate gentleman. He was a man of his word. We weren't always on the side of every issue, but my gosh, he earned the respect and deserved the respect of everybody he came into contact with. I'm sorry about that. This is pretty, it's a tough one for us. Let me read the resolution. I'll go to that if I could. Resolution adjourning the November 13th, 2008 legislative meeting in memory of Peter M. Stenson. Whereas it is customary for this legislative body to pay honor and respect to persons who have had a great impact and influence on the citizens of this county during their time on this earth, it is with particularly deep sadness that we conclude this evening's deliberations in absence of our citizens. And whereas attendant to such duty and fully in accord with its long-standing tradition, it is the intent of this legislative body to express our sincerest sorrow on the death of Peter M. Stenson, which occurred on Saturday, the 20th day of October in the year of 2018. Just a couple of days before, many of us here were at the Assembly debate out in Brunswick, and that was really the last conversation a lot of us had with Pete. And my gosh, he seemed well, no clue. Just another reminder of how how precious life is and how everybody should treat people as nicely as they possibly can. Whereas, respected and admired by all, it is the collective sense of this legislature that the life of Peter M. Stenson be memorialized and eulogized. And whereas Pete was born on March 1st, 1952 in Kingston, New York, to Joseph T. and Teresa L. Stenson, and whereas Pete graduated from John A. Coleman High School in Kingston and the University at Albany and earned an MBA at Russell Sage College. Pete would often let you know he had earned his MBA when he was discussing financial matters. So that was one thing I knew about Pete right from, I didn't need this one at all. Whereas Pete was a dedicated public servant who worked in the New York State Division of Budget and later the Department of Correctional Services until retiring from state service. And whereas Pete enjoyed his retirement by indulging in his passion for golf and local government and politics, serving the town of East Greenbush as Chief Financial Officer and serving on the Citizens Financial Advisory Board and the Planning Board. And whereas Pete was the chairman of the Town of East Greenbush Democratic Committee and was just recently elected vice chair of the Rensselaer County Democratic Committee. And whereas Pete was also a branch manager of Liberty Tax Services in East Greenbush. And whereas Pete will be missed by his friends and family, resolved that the Rensselaer County Legislature conclude its deliberations in memory of Peter M. Stenson, an upstanding citizen who was an example of public service and civic engagement, and extend our deepest sympathy to Pete's family and friends, confident that his contributions to our community will serve as a legacy for all. And be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature transmit a copy of the resolution suitably engrossed to the family of Peter M. Stenson. Linda, I have a suitably engrossed resolution for you.
Thanks, Tom.
Would anyone else like to say anything? Thank you all. Thank you for being here.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Legislator Grant, and special thanks to the Stenson family for letting us honor Peter. Thank you very, very much. This time we'll call the regular legislative meeting to order. There is a public hearing. I ask that the clerk call a notice for the public hearing.
The Rensselaer County Legislature will hold a public hearing to discuss the Rensselaer County Homeownership Program in accordance with 24 CFR 570.486 and the New York State Citizens Participation Plan. A public hearing will be held in the chambers of the Rensselaer County Legislature at the County Office Building, Troy, New York, on Tuesday, December 11, 2018 at 5:30 p.m. to review the Rensselaer County Homeownership Program activities and receive citizens' comments on the program's administration. All citizens are urged to attend and participate in the public hearing. Those requiring physical or lingual assistance to attend should contact 518-270-2914.
Thank you. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Ash McPherson.
Present.
Mr. Bailey.
Here.
Mr. Bendet.
Here.
Mr. Burns.
Here.
Mr. Casal.
Here.
Ms. Doran.
Present.
Mr. Fiacco. Mr. Fleming.
Here.
Mr. Grant.
Present.
Mr. Grimm.
Here.
Mr. Harrington.
Present.
Ms. Hoffman.
Here.
Mr. Loveridge.
Here.
Mr. Patiri.
Here.
Mr. Peter.
Here.
Mr. Tessman.
Here.
Ms. Sullivan Tita. Mr. Wysocki.
Here.
Chairman Stammel.
Here.
18 present, 1 absent.
Mr. Harrington.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the legislature resolve itself into a committee of the whole for the purpose of conducting a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Harrington. Hearing no objections, I hereby appoint Legislator Robert Bailey, Chair of the Legislative Committee on Planning and Tourism, to conduct this public hearing. Would you please come up? You have one person.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The clerk will read the notice of public hearing and enter the affidavits of publication into the record.
The Rensselaer County Legislature will hold a public hearing to discuss the Rensselaer County Homeownership Program in accordance with 24 CFR 570.486 and the New York State Citizens Participation Plan. A public hearing will be held in the chambers of the Rensselaer County Legislature at the County Office Building, Troy, New York, on Tuesday, December 11, 2018, at 5:30 p.m. to review the Rensselaer County Homeownership Program activities and receive the citizens' comments on the program's administration. All citizens are urged to attend and participate in the public hearing. Those requiring physical or lingual assistance to attend should contact 518-270-2914.
Thank you. The public hearing to explain state regulations, review eligibility, and propose program activities and receive citizens' comments and recommendations for the small cities application is now open. The rules of the chair as follows. First, anyone wishing to speak in this public hearing must sign in at the table at the entrance of the legislative chamber. When you are called upon to speak, please move quickly to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Are there any questions at this time? Is there anyone wishing to speak? I have one. Linda Vanda Heidi from Rensselaer County Economic Development Planning Program.
Hi, I'm Linda Vanda Heidi, Principal Planner of Rensselaer County, also a resident of Brunswick. The state's public participation policy requires that we hold one public hearing prior to an application for community development block grant funding and one public hearing when the funding has been spent down. And this second public hearing is to discuss the administration of the grant and program. The Rensselaer County Homeownership 10 program will be coming to an end this Friday, December 14th. We have received word that an extension will be allowed for 4 of our applicants that are under contract to buy a house to fulfill their purchase. Presently, the program has only helped 3 moderate-income families buy their own home and has only spent $40,750 of the $255,000, or 16% of program funds, along with $4,250 in program income from those who have purchased houses in previous rounds and have sold their houses before the 15 or 10-year commitment period, requiring a partial payback of their assistance. The program is run by 2 offices. The Rensselaer County Economic Development and Planning Office performs the initial environmental review and overview of the program, processes requests for funds, subrecipient oversight, and other administrative tasks that require contact with the New York State Office of Community Renewal. The county subrecipient, Rensselaer County Housing Resources, provides training and counseling of applicants, works with the applicants in getting a mortgage, inspects and screens properties for conditions, needed repairs, and lead-based paint, helps the applicants through the closing process, and then makes sure that the needed repairs and lead-based paint issues get taken care of. Round 10 has helped 11 applicants directly. The houses purchased are spread throughout the county: East Greenbush, Hoosick Falls, and Rensselaer. Even though this only includes 3 households, 4 racial categories were assisted: white, Native American, black, and Asian. All households were moderate income, which is 50 to 80% of median income, and 4 households are still in the pipeline. The large issue which has handicapped this round is the lack of affordable housing that is of a quality that will not bankrupt our home buyers with repair costs. The year-to-date median price of houses sold in October was $187,500, with a tight inventory of only 4.3 months supply. Last year, when I was here and reported about Program 9, I stated that, like never before in our program, which started in 2002, has there been such a shortage of houses, even with rising housing prices. That was with a 5-month supply of housing, and this year we even have less. Additionally, interest rates are rising, dropping the affordability of housing. The good news is that the housing sales prices have been falling since July, but unfortunately, they are just starting to re-enter the affordability range just as the program is closing. Unfortunately, the Office for Community Renewal has declined to fund homeownership programs in this past latest round of housing funding opportunities. Any questions?
So Linda, just so I understand, the program is going away then completely, or is it, Nancy might be funded again?
Well, hopefully, they might be having it as a hiatus this year because of the price of housing is just unaffordable at this point. Our program is probably not the only one that's at this point. You know, we've just done a few and that's it. So hopefully next year, we will have funding again on that. There is funding for the City of Troy. If anybody wants to buy a house in the City of Troy, they have a separate fund. They don't have small cities. They get funding that's automatically given them. So they get funded through, and Rensselaer County Housing Resources also runs their program. So there is funding to buy property in Troy, but Troy only at this time. Anybody else? Oh, thank you.
Thank you. With that, is there anyone else wishing to speak on this proposal? Is there anyone else wishing to speak on this proposal? Is there anyone else wishing to speak on this proposal? Hearing none, and inasmuch as all persons present were given the opportunity to speak and explain state regulations, review eligibility and proposed program activities, and receive citizens' comments and recommendations for the small cities applications, and no one else desires to speak, I declare this public hearing closed at 5:47. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Legislator Bailey and your committee, and also thank you to Mrs. Vanderheiden for keeping us up to date on current affairs in regards to the housing. A little bit out of order today. We do have a presentation that showed up late, so it would be P51118, resolution commending the Castleton Senior Citizens Club upon the occasion of their 50th anniversary. Representatives would be the Castleton Senior Citizens Club, presented by Legislator Peter. If they could come down.
Legislator Loveridge.
And Legislator Loveridge, and anyone else who may want to join them.
Ms. Carter is here.
You got to get an arrow.
Mary has served as our mayor, and trustee, and treasurer.
Yeah, I've seen her before, yeah. Better than Bob Saccone.
I love it.
Yeah. Welcome, ladies. Thank you.
How's everything tonight? How's everything? My family has a long history with the Castleton Senior Club. It's a great pleasure to be able to recognize them tonight for 50 years. In '92, my grandfather passed away, and as I spoke at their anniversary dinner, my grandmother, her life was very much my grandfather. And there was a few years where you could, while she was very happy living with us on the farm and stuff like that, there was a part of her life that was missing. And I can't thank the Castleton Senior Club enough for filling a void of friendship. My youth was filled with a good friend of hers, Mary Bowl, coming to pick her up to go to Castleton Seniors every Thursday. And it's been a great honor to have my family continue involved, with my father serving as officiant for many of their swearing-in ceremonies. And so when I got the invite to attend their 50th anniversary lunch, I was very happy and honored to be attendant at that such great function. So with that, I'll read the proclamation. Resolution commending Castleton Senior Citizen Club upon the occasion of their 50th anniversary. Whereas consistent with the duty of this legislative body to acknowledge those individuals and institutions who have contributed to the vitality of Rensselaer County, we recognize with profound respect and admiration an important milestone in the history of the community. And whereas attendant to such duty and fully in accord with its long-standing traditions, it is the intent of this legislative body to convey its compliments to the Castleton Senior Citizen Club on occasion of its 50th anniversary. And whereas Minister Eric King helped create the early organization of the club, hosting meetings at St. Paul's United Methodist Church in Castleton prior to the club moving to its current and longtime home in the Emmanuel Reformed Church in Schodack. And whereas the Castleton Senior Citizens Club meets every Thursday and is always welcoming to new members with no age requirements. And whereas the Castleton Senior Citizens Club provides social interaction where its members are welcome to play games like bingo and dominoes following every meeting, and whereas the group organizes various activities for its members, including travel trips, visits to local restaurants, picnics at Schodack Island State Park and the Schodack Town Park, attending local theaters, and celebrates milestone birthdays of its members. And whereas the club has yearly visits to Castleton Elementary School for dessert hour and Maple Hill Junior Senior High School for a senior luncheon. And whereas currently the oldest member of the club is Marge Johnson at 96 years old, now therefore be it resolved that this legislative body pause in its deliberations and commend the Castleton Senior Citizen Club upon the occasion of their 50th anniversary, and be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislative body is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed to the Castleton Senior Citizen Club. Thank you very much for all you've done.
Thank you
Thank you for all you continue to do.
recognizing us.
And thank you for inviting me to your luncheon.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Would you like to say anything, or?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Anyone
you
else?
to everyone. She's lost her
I attended the luncheon as well. How many members do you have?
53 currently.
53 currently. 52 women and 1 man. Right? He's a smart guy, I'll tell you.
Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Legislator Peter, and all right, again, a little bit out of order here, but I did want to give Legislator Grant an opportunity to pull himself together after that fine presentation he did. So at this particular time, I would ask Legislator Grant for the invocation.
Grant, Almighty God, that all who confess your name may be united in your truth, live together in your love, and reveal your glory in the world. Guide the people of this land and of all the nations in the ways of justice and peace, that we may honor one another and serve the common good. Lord, in your mercy we pray. Amen.
Amen. Legislator Grimm, with allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This time we'll move with the meeting agenda. Presentation of petitions.
On file?
Presentation of communications.
On file?
Reports of commissions.
On file?
Departmental reports.
On file?
Reports of standing committees.
On file?
Local laws.
There are none tonight.
Move on to the index of resolutions.
Did we have to do this guy?
Yeah, he did that earlier.
No, not this, no, not.
Oh, not this one, okay.
another one.
You got another one, okay. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Harrington.
This is the second.
This is the second time, yeah.
Chairman, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the special meeting of December 3rd, 2018, and approve the minutes as printed.
Second made, so moved. Thank you, Mr. Harrington. Repetitiveness is what we are about. Okay, index of resolutions. P 51518.
P 51518, resolution honoring Rensselaer County veteran Harold Dean Riley, introduced by legislators Harrington and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
P P51618.
P51618, resolution commending Country True Value Hardware and Rental upon the occasion of their 40th anniversary, introduced by legislators Hoffman, Fiacco, Bailey, Grant, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. P51718.
P51718, resolution urging New York State to reimburse counties for sharply increasing autopsy, coroner, and medical examiner costs, introduced by legislators Stammel and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
G51818.
G51818, resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain real property to the former owners listed below who paid tax arrearages in full prior to scheduling of auction sale. Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G51918.
G51918, resolution authorizing the County of Rensselaer to transfer certain real property to Village of Valley Falls for public benefit. In Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52018.
G52018, resolution authorizing the sheriff and county executive to enter into a cooperative agreement with the County of Saratoga for the purpose of sharing tactical team personnel, equipment, and resources, Office of the County Sheriff, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52118.
G52118, resolution authorizing payment for stenographic services for grand jury proceedings by appointed special prosecutor, county attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52218.
G52218, resolution authorizing a contract accepting a grant award from the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services and amending the 2019 Rensselaer County adopted budget. Public defender, county attorney, and conflict defender, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52318.
G52318, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement with Unity House for the provisions of domestic violence services, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, and Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52418.
G52418, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement with Start Children's Center, Inc., Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, and Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Those opposed?
18
None?
ayes.
So moved. G52518.
G52518, resolution closing completed capital projects, Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52618.
G52618, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement with Star Children's Center, Inc., Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, and Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52718.
G52718, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement with Start Children's Center, Inc., Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52818.
G52818, resolution authorizing an agreement with Star Children's Center, Inc., Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G52918.
G52918, resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into agreements with Northeast Parent and Child Society, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G53018.
G53018, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement with Jewish Family Services, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, and Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G53118.
G53118, resolution authorizing the purchase of public transportation from the Capital District Transportation Authority, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G53218.
G53218, resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into a maintenance agreement with Mason Technologies, Inc., Department of Social Services and Probation, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G53318.
G53318, resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain real property from the former owners Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 53418.
G 53418, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract for court reporting district attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 53518.
G 53518, resolution authorizing acceptance of an award from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services and the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance, and amending the 2019 Rensselaer County Adopted Budget District Attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 53618.
G 53618, resolution authorizing the renewal of a grant award from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services and amending the 2019 Rensselaer County Adopted Budget District Attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 53718.
G 53718, resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into agreements for raise the age legislation, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Those opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 53818.
G 53818, resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into contracts with Berkshire Farms and Services for Youth, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 54018.
G 53918, resolution authorizing the county executive
Eject
to
39.
purchase computer equipment, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. Now we'll do G 54018.
G 54018, resolution authorizing contracts for electronic monitoring, Department of Probation, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 54118.
G 54118, resolution authorizing an agreement for billing and electronic patient record-keeping software, Department of Mental Health and Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 54218.
G 54218, resolution appointing members to the Rensselaer County Community Services Board, Department of Mental Health, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Any opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 54318.
G 54318, resolution authorizing execution of agreements for a print management solution, Bureau of Research and Information Services, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 54418.
G 54418, resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement for pre-employment medical exam civil service commission, introduced by legislators Wysocki, Pateri, and Burns.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 54518.
G 54518, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute service contracts for the early intervention of preschool programs for program year 2019, Department of Health, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Bendet, Casal, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 54618.
G 54618, resolution approving memorandum of agreement between the County of Rensselaer and the United Public Services Employee Union, Human Resources, introduced by legislators Wysocki, Pateri, and Burns.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
Thank you for all the hard work that was done on that, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. G 54718.
G 54718, resolution amending the 2018 Rensselaer County Adopted Budget District Attorney, introduced by legislators Tessman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 54818.
G 54818, resolution authorizing an agreement with the Capital District Youth Center, Inc. regarding the Regional Secure Detention Facility, Department of Social Services, introduced by legislators Grant, Tessman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
17 ayes, 1 abstention, Mr. Bendet.
So moved. G 54918.
G 54918, resolution amending resolution G 37518 for the New York State Comprehensive Liquid Bituminous Materials Contract Highway Department, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55018.
G 55018, resolution authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance 100% of the federal aid and state Marchicelli program and aid eligible cost of a transportation federal aid project, County Route 51 Burden Lake Road and County Route 18 Hogs Corner Road pavement preservation, amending the 2018 Rensselaer County budget and authorizing the county executive to execute supplemental agreement number 2 for the project with the New York State Department of Transportation Highway Department, introduced by legislators Harrington, Bailey, and Fleming.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55118.
G 55118, resolution authorizing an agreement for security guard services at the Van Rensselaer Manor Nursing Home, Rensselaer County Office Building, Flanagan Square Building, Rensselaer County Department of Social Services, Probation, and Youth, Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55218.
G 55218, resolution authorizing a contract for lubricants and oils for the Highway Department and Sewer District Bureau of Central Services, introduced by legislators Loveridge, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55318.
G 55318, resolution authorizing an agreement for psychiatric services, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All of those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55418.
G 55418, resolution authorizing service contract for fire detection and building management systems, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55518.
G 55518, resolution authorizing an agreement for life safety training, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55618.
G 55618, resolution authorizing an agreement for dietary tracking software, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55718.
G 55718, resolution authorizing an agreement for mobile medical imaging services, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
Those all in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55718? Or is it 6?
G 55818, resolution authorizing the purchase and installation of 4 nurse call systems, Van Rensselaer Manor, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 55918.
G 55918, resolution authorizing the acceptance of an award from the New York State Department of Criminal Justice Services and amending the adopted 2019 Rensselaer County budget, Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Doran.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 56018.
G 56018, resolution authorizing the acceptance of a grant from the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and amending the 2019 Rensselaer County adopted budget, Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Doran.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 56118.
G 56118, resolution rejecting the proposed inclusion of a property into the agricultural district number 2, introduced by legislators Harrington, Wysocki, and Fleming.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 56218.
G 56218, resolution adjourning the December 11, 2018 legislative meeting in memory of the City of Rensselaer Mayor, Honorable Daniel J. Dwyer, introduced by legislators Stammel and the entire legislative body.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 56318.
G 56318, resolution establishing a capital project facility master plan, introduced by Chairman Stammel.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 56418.
G 56418, resolution establishing a capital project overflow parking lot, introduced by legislator Stammel.
All those in favor? So moved.
18 ayes.
G 56518.
G 56518, resolution establishing a capital project Gunther Enrollment Services Center repair and renovations, introduced by legislator Stammel.
All those in favor? Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. Legislative privilege. Hearing none. Make a motion to adjourn. Motion made and seconded. All in favor? So moved. Thank you. Everybody get home safely. And remember, we'll be meeting again on the 18th for the closeout meeting. Thank you.